Hi everyone, it's Daphne from Scrap and Create. Today we're going to continue working on the 8.5 by 10.5 mini album featuring the Graphic 45 Lost in Paradise collection. So most of the interior is done. There's some effort that needs to go into covering the inside covers and the back covers. So that's what we're going to focus on today. So I have selected my papers. So I'm going to use this brilliant yellow for the inside liner, and I thought that was just too much of one pattern. So what I've done is I've trimmed out and matted these green pieces, and I'm actually going to adhere them only on 3 out of the 4 sides, so this actually becomes a pocket as well. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start by laying down the yellow sheet. Excuse me, I've got my allergies driving me again this morning. And I'm just getting some glue on, and I had already trimmed these and inked them offline. Okay. I'm just looking for a nice even border, and I'm actually going to have to put a little more light on this. Sorry, I hate using artificial light, but I don't have enough light today. We've got another cloudy day here in San Diego. So I'm just turning it around to make sure I've got even borders and that I am not in the hinge area, that I'm clear of that. So it looks good. All right, so that's in. I'm just pressing the corners, make sure all the glue is grabbing. Okay, and then this I'm going to lay down. So what I'm planning on doing is, my little ephemera card popped out. Having it so that the pocket is far enough over that there's no risk of the page getting hung up on it at all. So I'm just laying this down to see where it's going to fall naturally, and I think I like it right about there. So there's still a nice band of yellow but plenty of room in the pocket. I totally apologize, I've got a frog in my throat. It's been clear all morning until I sat down to talk to you guys. That is just the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so again, I'm only doing 3 out of 4 sides because I want this to be a pocket. And I'm just eyeballing it. So once I get one side in, then on the flip side, just to make sure it's even, I'll go ahead and measure that side. And again, I'm going to turn it sideways just so I can see both edges. All right. And that looks good. And I'm pressing it into place. Okay, looks good. Beautiful. Okay, and like I said, this will be a pocket when it's dry as well. So, in effect, we're adding 2 pockets to the front and back. And now we'll do the back. Let's get the yellow sheet in first. And turn it so I can see these 3 edges. Just pressing it into place, making sure the glue is grabbing all along the sides. All right, now we need to figure out the placement for our pocket. So, looks like I need a little more in this corner. Okay, so now I need a ruler. ruler. And I think I've got, yeah. It's my crickety old desk making all that noise. Okay, so it looks like it's just slightly over an inch. So I will do the same thing on this side and pull it in just about an inch. I just want to make sure I've got it right side up. It does have words on it, so it is directional. And we're going to come in just about an inch, which is about right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're never going to see both sides at the same time. But it's pretty darn close. Within a 1/16 of an inch at least. Okay, let's see. Right. Okay, there we go. So that is in. So that is the front inside cover and the back inside cover. Now we want to do, let's go ahead and work on, it actually did get caught on something. So I have to look and see what was grabbing. Okay, so this flap right here is actually in a position to catch on this, so we'll have to be careful when I'm closing it. That it doesn't catch there. So just FYI. All right, so what was, oh, I know what I was gonna do. I did it again. You know what? That's not gonna work for us. This keeps catching. So what I'm gonna do is, I guess I'm gonna change this, and it's not gonna be a pocket. So I'm gonna glue it down so it won't catch on this. That's disappointing, but that was bad planning on my part. If you guys still want to have this pocket, then what I would suggest, there's two things you can do. One, change the flip orientation so there's nothing for it to catch on this side. And the other thing would be to change the pocket and move it to this side so the pocket slides in from this side. But I'm going to go ahead and glue this down because that caught on there twice. So that was just a bad design. It still may catch, but it's glued down now, so it won't tear up the paper. But I'm gonna be careful with it until the glue dries. So that's disappointing, but you live and learn. You guys can change your design based on my mistake. All right. I still like the design aesthetic. It's just disappointing that it's not functional. Okay, so that solved that problem. Short-term problem. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and cover the back. And the back is going to be this green color. And then I had this part of the cut apart, and normally it would have been cut into 3 different pieces, but I liked it the way it was. So I'm going to actually attach it to the center of the back just like so. And that is the back of the book for you. Sideways so I can see these edges. And it looks good. So I'm just pressing it into place now. Okay. All right, so now this is the last feature. And I thought about popping it, which I think would look really good. But I do like my books to lay flat when they're on their back. So I'm not going to put any embellishment or pop this up, as I plan to do some embellishing on the front. And that'll already have, you know, quite a bit of dimension. So I'm just going to lay this on here flat, and I'm just eyeballing it to the center of the page. And it's just to break up all that green. I think that's just too much of that pattern. Okay, I'm going to check this real quick. And that's pretty straight, so it stays as is, and I'm just pressing it into place. Okay. All right, so we've made some good progress. There's still some embellishing that needs to be done on the outside and inside of the book. And now that I've got these papers in, I'm going to go focus on getting the rest of those lined up for us to finish the album. One thing I did want to point out that I did offline, and I'm still trying to figure out how much paper I'm going to have left. So I haven't completely covered my inserts. But what I have done on all my inserts is cut a 1-inch strip and covered both sides. So as the pages cascade, you'll see a pattern. Now I'm hoping to have enough paper left over to cover at least one of the two sides of the rest of the inserts. But I'm still, like I said, in the planning phase, or paper planning phase. So I'm not real sure where I'm at. But everything else in the book is covered. So that much we know is taken care of. And the worst case is you only have a strip, but I think I'll have enough to cover one side. And the reason I put a strip on both sides is I want to see a pattern when the pages cascade, even if I can't fill the photo mat entirely on both sides. At the very least, I want to see this. So hopefully I'll come back and I'll have some pieces cut for this. And it may mean that I have to do a lot more piecing. I may not have enough big pieces left to cover it. And then I'll also be adding some embellishments. So I've already done a couple of things to embellish. One is I added this matted piece of ephemera to this page. So I put something on the back, and I've added this little piece of cut apart. I've done the same thing here with a cut apart. And I added this little piece, which is also a cut apart. And then this is a piece of the chipboard. So I've done those things. And honestly, I can't remember if I did anything on the inside of this one. Oh, I added, so I've matted and added ephemera cards to both of the pockets. So I've done the same thing on the others, on the flip side. And then here I've added a couple more of those fussy cuts and a cut up heart. And this is from the 8x8 collection. And another cut apart here. And then I'm planning on using this piece of ephemera over here, so it's just stowed there for the moment. And then of course I've added the ephemera extended card, and I extended it because I want to use that to hold, not only to be a decorative piece here, but to hold our waterfall in place. So I have done some embellishing. There's going to be some more. I will bring that back to you as soon as I get it ironed out and trimmed out, and we will finish the rest of this book. Thanks everyone. I'll be back soon.